Good morning and welcome back to the Angry Poolman channel, where we learn how to treat our pool and our pool man. No, this is not my new apartment. No, my wife did not kick me out. This is my storage unit. So yeah, storage units are great for decluttering and for organizing your pool business. That's what I'm doing here. So just kind of making sure I have the things that I need for the week, storing a few things here, and yeah, we won't have this thing for much longer, but yeah, you know, just keeping the bikes here and stuff that we just can't fit in the garage. We're going to be going to our hot tub where I am going to film, and you'll see how simple it is to take care of your own hot tub. Okay, we've made it here at our hot tub, our first stop on Monday. So check it out. I went Telsa 90. Okay, so this pool week to week, or this hot tub week to week, stays very clean. These people are respectful. They keep their feet clean when they get in the hot tub, right? So basically my job here is to make sure that the chemistry is bang on. Speaking of the chemistry, here is our test strip. Okay, so there is clearly no chlorine in this pool, and a pH that is acceptable. Alkalinity and cyanuric are really good. So yeah, I use just a splash, like literally a splash of chlorine. That is all this thing will need week to week for my customers. You might have, you know, a situation like I have over at the Demoralizer, where it doesn't matter what the body of water is, it's so much as the people who are using it, right? And so if you're really kind on the pool or the body of water, then it's going to be a lower price for you monthly. And then on top of it, you know, I'm not here that much. I'm just cleaning minimal. I clean out the filter once a month, and that's part of the price. I don't charge extra for the filter because it's about the size of a football. I do it right over here at this drain, and it's not that big a deal. So if you're taking care of a hot tub, or you're getting your hot tub taken care of, I'm not going to try to say, oh, your price is too high or whatever. But this is $120 a month, and I charge that because I have to do the same exact things as any other pool. Like next I'm going to the Big Fatty. That's a 45,000 gallon pool. This is 450 gallons, maybe more like 350. So the point is that if I'm still doing going through the motions, coming back in the backyard, that's where the price is like kind of similar to a pool. But yeah, because I'm doing the exact same things. I'm stopping the car, the gas, the whole thing. Nothing's changed on that. So anyway, I love this little hot tub. I've added, like I said, a splash of chlorine, and I did a little bit of Telsa 90. Once again, here's the original Telsa 90. The only thing I have ever replaced is my bag, right? And see, that's the thing about bringing it back here. I almost might be getting it dirty. This hot tub, I might be getting it dirtier than it was before I showed up. Anyway, so if you're gonna vacuum this stuff out, maybe it's good to have a bespoke, dedicated little hand vacuum to do that. If you're a homeowner, buy a Telsa 90. It's a great value. Okay, we have reached the Big Fatty, and I'll tell you what, when you're a 53-year-old pool guy, it is really nice to have a bathroom on one of your stops. Not to mention, such a nice bathroom too. Yeah, anyway, moving on. Not so many pool men can be so lucky as to have such a luxury as to have this pool as well. I mean, look at it. There's some stuff in it, right? Woodland creatures, insects, whatnot, but no algae. Okay, so our Pool RX has taken effect. We're on this backside here. We're always fighting algae all over the bar stools, in the grotto. There's nothing. I'm stoked. Yeah, I think the Pool RX is a really great value. Does it work overnight? No, it does not work overnight. Will it work if you have dirty filters? No, probably not. But if you have your act together and you know what's going on with your pool, in the sense that, when was your last filter clean? And when was your last mineral packet? You don't want to add too many of these things. And if you got blonde kids, give it a couple of days before you put those things in there, those kids, because it'll turn their hair green. I've heard that complaint before. So yeah, and we don't want that. So, but this is a big pool. This pool gets a Pool RX all blue. I think one time I did say that I think I added a blue and white. No, I was incorrect. It's blue, all blue here. And they have 3 pumps. You know, there's no edge pump here. If it were to be an edge pump as big as this pool would be, it would get 2 Pool RXs, just like our 2 Infinity pools on Friday. They both have double Pool RXs, and they're both in their circulation and edge pump. But yeah, look at our perfectly adjusted Pentair Rebel. He climbs the wall, but once he gets halfway up the wall, he falls. We never want, especially with pools with equipment on the same grade, right? It's one thing if the pool has equipment below the grade and he sucks some air. If he sucks some air and the pool pump loses prime, well, this is a Pentair pool, so the pump will kill itself and then maybe give itself another chance to reprime. But if it doesn't do that like a couple times, then the pool will just stop, and that's good. But the pool needs to be circulating. So anyway, there are implications when he breaches. Make sure your cleaner is adjusted correctly. Okay, chemically speaking, last week I believe we were at 3350, and this week I have not hit the equipment yet, but they've definitely been using the pool. That's all right. That's what it's all about. But anyway, I am gonna get brushing, but I'm just super stoked. This water is just mountain stream status, and there's not a lick of algae in this pool. Okay, I feel good about this. You know, I was always a big fan of King of the Hill, and
you know, Hank Hill would have said, "Scott, you've done a great service to this pool. And stop quacking off in the tool shed."
But anyway, I tell you what, this pool is looking awesome. 3450 on the salt. Look at that surround cover up there, that nice gate. God, that is super nice. Easily the nicest one I have ever seen. But yeah, the pool is looking really good. We are kind of low on chems, but I'm confident that our salt cell can take us through the week. We don't need to be adding tons of, we certainly don't want to be adding liquid, because that confuses our salt cell. When that chlorinated water passes through our salt cell, it thinks that the salt is actually higher than it is. And if that's over 3650, that reduces the production of the salt cell. That being said, we're at 3450, so I feel like our cell can take us through the week. We can move on. Okay, we have reached our 3rd stop of the day, and that means our rectangular pool with the electronic cover. Okay, so yeah, the code's 1234. They all are. So, but you can reprogram it. So our rectangular pool with the electronic cover, we had a filter clean here last week, and if you remember, the cartridges were kind of coming apart in my hands. Here, let me speak to that in a second. But you want to know why I love this customer is, look at this. This hose is filled with air. That means they took it out and then they put it back. That's all that I can ever ask for, okay? So unfortunately, when the hose is full of air like that, when the pump is gonna eventually start, it's gonna suck a big old gulp of air. And that's why putting check valves on our equipment is so important. Now, we don't have one here. This pool is really, I like the way this pool is plumbed. But once again, if you were to, the cleaner were to purge, or like it is right now, it's going to suck some air. It might not like that. And the first thing, the priority that the pool has every day is to, when it starts up at 9 o'clock, that there's water in that pump, or there is water in the pump very quickly. Okay, so let's check our test strip here. This pool is just getting by with the chlorine. Now it has some, right? And then the pH is looking low. alkalinity is low and cyanuric is low. Okay, that's because I never add cyanuric here, and I just have not added enough sodium bicarbonate. But I'm gonna start at the pool and we'll add a couple of splashes of chlorine. Okay, so it's taken quite a long time for the pool to prime up, and when I checked right here, solar is engaged. Oh, I have it in service mode, but when it's in auto, it says solar is engaged. Okay, so that's fine. What are the implications of having solar engaged? This actuator right here is going to steal the suction from your cleaner right here, because when this thing turns, then it will change where the suction is coming from. The suction will be coming from the ceiling, the roof rather. So yeah, that's what happens. Let's go check to see how. Yeah, see, our cleaner's working now. But yeah, it took me like 5 minutes to prime the pump. But that's because I think the solar guy didn't. I don't know what was happening. Either the solar guy came over and didn't properly prime the pump, so when it starts, it's sucking air. Or I don't know if the homeowner did anything. I doubt it. They're actually really very knowledgeable homeowners. But yeah, he's still not working. And that's because okay. Okay, so we have, yeah, that's really high pressure for having just had a filter clean last week. Yeah, see? Yeah, but it should be down next to 10. Okay, it's only at cruising speed, which is like 2600, 2700 at the most. So, but yeah, we have all green lights on our solar, on our salt cell, and our cleaner valve is back to being adjusted correctly. So, but why isn't our cleaner working? Yeah, he's still stuck over here. Okay, this is about twice as long as I ever stay here. That being said, I am really off. I love Pentair products, but I am really off the Pentair Rebel. Okay, it's just like, I just did a filter clean here last week, and so then the solar system was fixed and there was some air in the line. However, when I got all the air out, the cleaner's still like languishing. It's just kind of right, not doing what it's doing right now. So I have to take it out almost every week and like spin all the gears just to make sure it's going to work. And then look, right now it's stuck on the main drain. Okay, here at the pool known as Geronimo's pool, and let's check out our chems immediately. So it's like a 1.5 and a high pH of 7.8 or 8. Alkalinity and cyanuric are good. Yeah, so this is a perimeter overflow pool only with a Pentair IC40 salt cell, and yeah, I have it on timeout now, or else he shouldn't be climbing the wall like that. I'll adjust his little floater so he falls. Although it's nice to have a cleaner that cleans the walls, especially a Pentair Rebel. Those guys have, I used to have them up here, and now, yeah, not so much. But anyway, this pool is looking really good. Like I said, high pH, so they've been using it. That's what it's all about. Okay, I want them to use it. And one of the things that I'm really trying to focus on here at this location, and with all of my pools, but is the tile, right? Okay, I have brushed this pool head to toe here. Our Pentair Rebel's doing his thing, and yeah, the water is just looking super good. Mountain stream status. We can move on. All right, last pool of the day, and that's the Pixel pool. And surprisingly, things are looking pretty dang good. Now, I did a filter clean here today, so everything's working as good as it ever gets. And actually, pool had some chlorine in it. It had some water in it too. The homeowner has to fill because there's no autofill here. And so that's always fun. But he's actually doing a really good job. So that is it for Monday. Okay, we have made it to Tuesday. And so that means we're outside the chancla, and that means it's 6:15 in the morning. Actually, it's 6:13. So we'll hang out and chat until 6:15 says on the clock. But yeah, so we replaced the check valve here. Spa was draining down, raised spa, it was draining down. And this is the time where this is happening. I replaced the check valve over at the Demoralizer. What's the recurring theme? It's summertime, the kids are out, and so now everybody's using that spa. And using that spa means heating it up with the heater. And when you heat stuff up with the heater, maybe that O-ring gets some whatever, a little tiny pebble in it or something, and that precludes the door from shutting. So when it shuts and then the pump goes off, that little suction leak will cause your raised spa to drain down. And depending on where the equipment is, it might not even have to be a raised spa. It could be just a regular spa. Maybe you have the equipment below grade. The point is that when your spa starts draining down, the first thing you want to check is your check valve. Okay, back here at the pool, and everything is looking super good. They actually took some hedge out there, and it almost seems like they could use something in replacement. They need a little more privacy, but I'll counsel them on what to plant. But look at the water. Yeah, mountain stream status. And for the reason for that, let's check out the test strip, which is literally perfect. Ain't nobody using this pool. So we got plenty of chlorine, perfect pH, alkalinity, and cyanuric are good. Like I've said last week, cyanuric is creeping up, but it's actually in the ideal range right now. So let's go over and check our floater and see what it is. You know, while we're talking about 3-inch chlorine tabs, somebody made a comment on how it's a no-no to put chlorine tabs in the skimmer, right? And while I agree that that is a bad management practice to do on a regular basis, when we're trying to raise cyanuric and say we have a remnant from here, right? I just put the remnant in there, and my results are always, I always have plenty of cyanuric in pools that I do that with. Does that hurt the heater or anything like that? I don't think it hurts the heater per se in anywhere as more than if you were to add cyanuric. How do you add cyanuric? Well, you add it to the skimmer. So I don't know. I've been doing this since 1991, and I've heard a lot on that subject. And I'll tell you what, I just go with the results. Okay, I feel really good about this. Here's my secret weapon in fighting the birds, right? And I put him, her, however they identify, right here in the spillway, right? So that's going to help us keep birds away from the spillway. We're continuing to adjust our Hayward Navigator, which is frankly working perfectly. Homeowner has said that sometimes it gets just stuck on the whatever, so we don't want that to happen. But water is looking super awesome. We're cleaned up and chemmed up. We can move on. Okay, we have arrived at the Beachside Beauty, and yeah, you know, I want to apologize to birds far and wide because I was blaming you, and there is some culpability on behalf of the birds. And now we have controlled the algae, but I'm still seeing signs of it right here, which kind of leads me to believe there might be humans sitting here. This is a beach, right? This is a beach. So you can lie here and just pee yourself to your heart's content. So, and how do I know this? It's because the only place that there's a hint of algae is right here. So, yeah. And then on top of it, there's been no help here, okay? And then we have algae here. And okay, some of you guys might look at it and go, I don't see any algae. Yeah, I do. So it's not full blown, but I can see that it's about to be. And I'm gonna have to brush this pool every square inch again. I don't think I'll have to get in, knock on wood, like I've gotten in the last 2 weeks to this pool. Don't like doing that. Okay, I feel good about this. I did a lot of brushing. No metal brush, which is, I guess that's positive, but it was kind of stubborn. Anyway, this pool has become quite a source of ire. I'm gonna let both of them run for 3 hours on timeout and move on. Okay, so we have arrived at the long lap pool and things look pretty good, but it's the same story every week. I love these people to death. They're just really nice people. That 1, 2, 3, those are 3 plants just straight growing in the pool. And hey, what is it that I vacuum out? That stuff, that's it. It's the only stuff that's in the pool, and they insist that they don't want a side suction pool cleaner. Like I said last week, they have a robot, but I was basically taking more time putting the robot away, and it didn't really always do like the best work. So here's another way that we indicate that this pool needs a filter clean, is our little waterfall, our shear descent is not working. So we can go all shear descent, right? So that's great, and that's all sheer descent, but we don't want that. What we want is 50-50, right? 50%. Yeah, so yeah, a customer, she really likes that. So I'm gonna be doing a filter clean next week for sure. We can move on. Okay, we have made it to the Amoeba and everything's okay. But these are the things that I am always paying attention to when I arrive. Before I've even turned the pump on, I check out the level of the spa. Here we have another raised spa, 18-inch raise in the spa. Hey, actually, things have kind of drained down a little bit, but they didn't drain down any more than about right here. So if we're still in the tile line, I'm not gonna find that as a problem, right? If I found it where the pebble is exposed, problem. I would come over here. This would be my first inclination. So if you come over here to the equipment, let me put it in service mode. Come over here to the equipment and I look at this check valve. Okay, so this is our return. We're just going from the heater out, right? Here's one check valve, here's our salt cell, right? And here's our valve with a motorized actuator on top of it. This is our return valve, so it's either going to the spa or the pool. There's our spa bypass valve. Okay, so I have that adjusted the way I like that. And then for the pool return, I'm not really sure why they put this valve in here. This could have been a mistake, although highly unlikely. This is a pool built by Mission Pools of California, and they know what they're doing. This is a COVID pool, so this is why you see this kind of funky equipment set where you got the Pentair Easy Touch controller, and then you have a Stay Right filter, 2 Stay Right pumps, Pentair salt cell, Pentair actuators on top of our valves, and then we have a Ray Pack heater. COVID. So, and then on top of it, this pool has the screen logic, which allows the homeowner to control with the app on their phone. So yeah, anyway, I always want to make sure that this thing is not draining down, and if it is, it's the check valve that's our first culprit. Let's move on. Okay, 5th and final pool of the day, and we're at the Palms. So like I did last week, quick palm check, everything's looking good. Not even a whole lot of dust on the surface of the pool. Unfortunately, I screwed up. I was here to I was gonna be replacing the jet pump today, and I just pulled the wrong one out of my storage unit. I need the 221, I brought the 121. But anyway, I'm gonna go to the storage unit and I'll either come back today or I'll do this tomorrow. Wow, so they have actually used it. Okay. Nothing. Hey, bunny rabbit. No, what is that? Seriously, what is that? Huh. That's a leaf. Look like a big piece of dog do. So. Okay. All right, when there's no chlorine in the pool like this, we gotta sanitize for today. So cyanuric acid is too high. We cannot use tabs, and I don't have any cal hypo tabs. Cal hypo tabs are tabs without cyanuric acid. That might look like a lot of chlorine to some, but check it out. We're here in full sun all day long, so this pool will eat it up when they use it. So that high pH indicates that someone's using it, and obviously they using it ate up all the chlorine. That's totally fine. I'm really hesitant to add any acid because of the high amount of modeling that's going on in this pool. And I know one thing is that their use is like, they'll go weeks again with using it that much. So anyway, seems like there's maybe some stuff in the corners I can hit with my toilet brush. Look at that. I wound that thing down at the Beachside Beauty yesterday. Okay. Tile looks real nice. Just because there was low chlorine, I'm gonna brush. I should brush every week. Just a quick brush in the corners. Old pool, old tile, but anyway, we're good for yet another week. Okay, welcome to Wednesday. And I hope you appreciated the head cam that we had going on at Lynn Duck Field. Things are looking really good there. Don't want to add too much acid. So on this, I spoke about, here we are at the Obsession Pool. Excuse me. We're here at, I wanted to mention these two floaters here again. I said they were like $15. They're actually like $26 on Amazon. So since I've been recommending those, the 2-pack, right? The 2-pack, not to be confused with Tupac, it was like 15, 16 bucks, and it has gone up. So maybe that's a seasonal thing. Maybe it's time to buy those things in November when the price is low. Anyway, so like I said, we're here at the Obsession Pool and mountain stream status. I have not taken my chems yet. Why don't we do that? Okay, so I'm going to take our chems here in, I'll just take them in the deep end. I usually take them kind of over there, but let's try here. And although we do have some, chlorine here, summer has definitely shown up, and so we're seeing higher pHs across the board. But yeah, look at that water, mountain stream status. As usual, I'm going to brush every square inch, and then we'll move on to Chocolate XL. Okay, I feel good about this, although you never know. Look at this, cloudy water, okay? Once again, our phosphate treatment PR1000 from Orenda strikes again. So I put 10 ounces in here, and comment below if you're a homeowner and your pool man has added a phosphate treatment to your pool, and if so, how much did he charge you? So yeah, I'm not trying to compete with anybody or have anybody get into a bidding war with their pool man, but for this, I do this 2 times, so 2 different 20 ounce or 10 ounce bottles, and I charge $100 for that. If I were to only use one, it would be obviously 50. So yeah, this is a pretty big pool, and it's going to need 20 ounces. So either way, this pool will next week even look brighter than it does right now, and we can move on. Okay, we have arrived at the Dragon. So I always like to tell you what are the implications of you doing something. You like these white flowers? Everybody does, right? They're over there too. This is what happens when you put the white flowers next to your pool. So yeah, they look great. But to me, I don't think they look so good that they'd be like, oh yeah, I gotta have these things. They dump into your pool. Let me give you a piece of advice. This right here is called a boxwood. Right here, right? See this little guy? Yeah, those things are wonderful. They are green all year round. They never flower, and they don't shed, only when you have to trim them. Now you can, it's called a boxwood because you can trim them into a box hedge. It's really kind of cool. But anyway, I'm going to get to work here, but I just wanted to show you the implications of putting these stupid flowers. Hello, kitty cat. Oh, very nice. What a sweetheart. Okay, so I've been taking care of this pool for 3-4 months, maybe 5. And one of the things I noticed, and it's not the best built pool ever, but there's one return line all the way over here, shooting here towards the skimmer. And our skimmer is just, it's worthless. It's totally ineffective. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the diverter for 1 week. One week. Okay, so I'm going to actually, I think I'm even going to take out the basket of the skimmer. Okay, and so what that's going to do, there's implications to that. So that means everything that the cleaner picks up or that the skimmer sucks up is going right to the pump basket. So, but I've been doing this long enough to know, or this pool, Actually, I've been doing pools since 1991, but I've been doing this pool long enough to know that there's not going to be enough to pack the pump basket. So that's fine. Let's take out this and this, and we'll just put it next to the equipment right here. Okay. So we're performing an experiment for 1 week and 1 week only. So while we do this, let's go over to the equipment. Let's see what our parts per million are. 4.3. Okay, so that's on me. If it's over, it's on the pool guy, and I'm the pool guy. So what's our PSI? Our PSI is fine. So that doesn't mean that our filter clean or our filters don't need cleaning. Our filter cartridges, right? There's 4 cartridges in R2D2 right here, right? Okay, so just because the pressure, the PSI on the gauge doesn't read high, doesn't mean that we don't need a filter clean. So we're about ready for a filter clean at this pool, but we're not going to do it this week. Okay, check me one time. So some of you have asked about the Telsa 90. Okay, it's named something else if you go to Kokaido, which is the company that makes the Telsa 90. Yeah, I don't know if you can actually buy something that's called the Telsa 90. However, my little guy here, this is like a 1.5 years old, and the only thing that I have replaced is right here, this sock. Okay, so yeah, look at the pool, super good. I haven't even taken the chems. Okay, our homeowner has added these wonderful Italian cypress. So let's check out what the chems are. Oh, this is wonderful. Okay, so our salt cell is producing a ton of chlorine, and surprisingly, they're not really using it that much. At least the pH indicates that. So that's fine. Oh, wait. Let's get our salt. I'll tell you what, I am actually really, really happy. 3620 on the salt. So that means the salt cell is right there in the meaty part of the curve. It's producing plenty of chlorine, and the water just looks wonderful. I'm not going to call it mountain stream status because there's so many bugs on the surface. Yeah, you'd be saying like, what about all of the bugs? At nighttime, this thing is a bug magnet. Okay, so the homeowner obviously likes the lights on at nighttime, which who wouldn't, you know, right? It looks beautiful. It's like a sparkling gem at night. But once again, there are implications to running your lights at night. It's going to attract bugs. We can move on. Okay, we've made it to Thursday. I'm outside the Demoralizer. It's 6:20. And, you know, I'm listening to Stillness is the Key by Ryan Holiday and on Audible. And, you know, one of the things that I just get a kick out of, in the sense that I spent a lot of time trying to work on myself and trying to improve who I am as a human being. It's pretty tough. I've got some rough edges, as a lot of us do. But the point is that, you know, philosophy is kind of like taking care of a swimming pool. It's like sometimes it's all in balance and you got it all figured out, quote unquote. And then, you know, sometimes not so much, you know, things get away from us. And so, you know, our understanding and synchronicity with the universe kind of ebbs and flows. I don't know, that's the way I am. Anyway, that's all the philosophy I'm going to throw at you today. Let's get back here to the Demoralizer. I have high hopes. Let's check it out. Wah, wah, wah. Look at that water. You can barely see through it. Yeah, this is... that's nasty. So anyway, I'm gonna brush. Let's first take our chems. Okay, well, I can definitely tell by stealing the water. They've been heating it. But hey, look, there's actually chlorine in this pool. A pH, I'm gonna let that ride. Alkalinity and cyanuric are good. Okay, so let's see. What is our salt here? And our salt is just under 32. So in our Jandy salt cell world, that should still be producing. And here's another thing that really is a major thing at the Demoralizer, largely because I just replaced it, but we don't want our spa. The first thing I check when I get here is the spa to make sure it has not drained down. Now, they have like a bunch of boys in this house, so I'm sure there's a lot of splashing around that goes around. So sometimes it could be a little low, but if it's anything lower than the tile line, then I know we have a problem. No problem here. But the only problem is that we probably do need to add some acid, because that's why the water is so cloudy. The pH is kind of higher than my test strip is indicating. The water is the real indicator. I'm gonna brush. I'm rushing over here because I want to show this to you and then turn it off. Here's our laminars, right? Deck jets, right? Yeah, something wrong with that one. So that's a builder thing. We're gonna call the builder. Yeah, so I run the deck jets and the swim jets, as you saw, we're running every week to make sure that they're working properly. These two are working, but this one, I don't think that's supposed to be pulling out. Right here, you can see that that clearly is broken. So we will, although I was able to pull it out before, I can't do it right now. But yeah, that brass, whatever is in there is broken, and then maybe there's a little plastic pipe in there. But I think also the lack of alkalinity, it does say good on this test strip, but I will say this: if I were to hit this with some sodium bicarbonate, yeah, it would most definitely brighten up. But like I said, I'm gonna brush. You know, the Demoralizer, for the uninitiated, the Demoralizer sounds kind of like a harsh name, but let me tell you, I have put in my time on this pool. Here's another thing that has always been an issue, is low water, right? The guy's an executive. He's not home enough to pay attention every single day. Got a ton of kids. The water issue has been an issue. So, yeah, every time I'm here, I do add, which kind of screws up my chemicals in the sense that I'm adding new water, which is unchlorinated. So this is going to lower the chlorine level overall, but otherwise, I'm happy with the cleanliness of this pool, and we can move on. Okay, I feel really good about this. I just interfaced with my homeowner, and this is why communication is so important. I thought he was going to pick these lengths of hose, these Zodiac hoses up at Leslie's, which I never tell anybody to go to Leslie's, but in this case, I'm actually wanting him to go because they sell genuine Zodiac parts. So that's really good. He didn't go, no problem. Just like I said, miscommunication. But I had a bunch of conventional type hoses and my gender bender. And so now, as janky as it looks, our Zodiac MX6 is back, and it has the proper length of hose. It gets all the way over there in the corner, and that's what he's supposed to do. This is, you know, not so far away. That's the furthest point that he has to go. But look at him climbing the hill. Now, it's in service mode right now, and when I leave, I'm not gonna, actually it's in timeout. When I leave, I'm not gonna leave it on, because just like when I was talking to the homeowner, the Zodiac MX6 breached with 3450 at where my valve is adjusted. That's what it's going to do. You don't want your cleaner to breach and suck air. Now the Zodiac MX6 is kind of designed to breach and clean the tile line, but let's not pester Satan. Okay, I wish they could all be Sector 9, and that's where we're at. So I showed you the test strip because I didn't want it to get too old. I wanted to show that there are plenty of chemicals in this pool, looking really good. And in fact, the pH is pretty bang on. I did a salt cell clean a couple weeks ago, And when you do that, you know, you just dump all the acid back into the pool. So that really lowered the overall, probably got it to like a 7.2. And so now today it's a 7.6. Our Zodiac MX6, he's still got all his factory hoses, although no, that's not true at all. I sold this family a couple of them off Amazon, and that's why I don't sell them to families anymore, because they were curved. Look how things are going in a circle like that. That's no good. So anyway, yeah, we pulled another large woodland creature out of this pool again, but otherwise it's chemicals are looking really good, cleaned up, chemmed up. We can move on. Okay, we're back here, and love the swim up bar. Just a really nice pool. Lots of leaves in it this week. In fact, the Zodiac MX6 was stuck behind the bar stools. That never happens. But anyway, this pool cleans up really nice. Plenty of chemicals. Look at that water. Mountain stream status. Okay, so Zodiac MX6 is climbing the walls. But it's time to go get a double-double. See you on Friday. Okay, welcome to Friday, and what an eventful Friday it is. I think it's National Yoga Day, so welcome to that. Yesterday at about 1:20, the, what do we call it? The summer equinox happened. So it is officially summer, and I'm really trying not to watch even the news at all, like for the weather, but I saw it the other day. My wife was watching the news, and I saw that this weekend there is going to be a major temperature increase from being in the mid 70s to being to be the high 80s, low 90s. So here in beautiful Escondido, California. So we have 8 pools today on Friday, and we're going to get them started. It's especially exciting because the Onyx pool apparently has been tiled yesterday. Lido the Hawaiian has texted me and saying that the spa at the Onyx pool will be tiled, or was tiled yesterday. So we'll be able to see that. First, we're going to get to the leaf canister. That should be interesting. Okay, one of the things I always want to be doing is providing more value for you every episode. We're going to be going like this. So here's what my homeowner, God bless him, this is what he'd been fishing out of his pool. So what does that mean? Don't plant bougainvilleas around your pool. Even if your wife wants that, just insist that you don't want these types of plants around your pool. Oh, and by the way, yeah, so here's our chems. Wonderful. This is the way to start out the week. I should say weekend. Now, high pH, yeah, alkalinity and cyanuric are good. And we have 3,000 on the salt. So we're right there on the cusp where the salt cell's not going to be making chlorine. We have a surplus of it here for the weekend, so I think we're good. This is the original bait and switch. I call it bait and switch because when customers make a deal with me and say, okay, we're going to do the pool for this amount, and then I find out that they're giving like swim lessons, totally changing the scope of work. Don't change the scope of work. All right, we have reached the Onyx pool, and wah, wah, wah. Yeah, unfortunately the pool is not tiled. It looks like it is ready to be tiled, but for one reason or another, which I am not my brother's keeper. Yeah, I don't want to be getting too biblical on you Friday morning at 6:45, but yeah. And then he's left his equipment, you know, he's got this thing. That's really cool. I have one of these things. It's not even, he built this one out of a hand cart. Mine was, I bought mine from Advantage Manufacturing up in Orange, California. Both are great products, and the fact that we have these things is really important. Okay, that being said, I am going to let him turn it on. That is his equipment, and I am not going to, in the movie business in which I used to work, the television entertainment business, if you were to go and just start doing somebody else's job, that's known as whoring one's gig, and I don't want to whore anybody's gig. So that being said, the pool looks pretty good withstanding, right? Okay, there's a lot of dust here. This will come right up and won't even be an issue. Gosh, I do want to start the pump because I'd love to vac up some of this dust, which this is really bothering me. But either way, my robot is still in here, which you're not really supposed to keep your robot in here all the time. And of course we got our gardener buddy who's putting our Home Depot compost here. So yeah, I feel bad about this taking so long, but I can't warranty another man's work. I can just recommend ones that I've had a good experience with, which I've had great experiences with Lido in the past. And but things take time. They just, they need time to cure. This product that he applied right here, this waterproofing product, it needs time to properly dry. And once again, I am not going to speak about somebody else's business practices. So yeah, got the robot's gonna go and do a little circulation. Okay, I am not a buck passer, but when it is somebody else's job site, and right now this is Lido's job site, I'm gonna let him run it. So what I did was what I could do for the pool. Once again, can't run the pump. I have my robot, my what is it? It's an S500 Matronics. It's which one is it? It's the top. It used to be the top of the line. It's like retails for $3,000 bucks. But yeah, it had picked up plenty of plaster dust, and it has its own kind of skimmer basket, but it also filters fine particles like plaster dust. So yeah, it was almost like a absolute solid brick of that kind of dust. So I'm really glad I'm here and serviced it. Word to the wise, you got a robotic cleaner, you got to clean the thing just like you would. You got to clean it every use, basically, for it to not be an algae bomb. Okay, third stop, and that means the Great Wall. Okay, so what's the recipe for a Great Wall? You got a brush, you got to have your Pool RX, and you got to have a filter clean. We got all three. So actually, as per usual, our Zodiac MX6 is hung up here. So, but in a positive note, his tire tracks have not been dislodged. He's working right now. He was about 5 seconds ago. Don't make me look bad, buddy. Anyway, I think pool guys kind of have a love-hate relationship with the MX5. Or the MX6, excuse me. They either love it or hate it. So I am one of those people who love it, but he's just taking a dump on me and making me look like a fool. Okay, yeah, we're in our cluster of 3 here, and this is the only pool I'm going to be filming at. Yeah, the Poolman's healthcare plan is in full effect. So yeah, getting a good sweat on, giving this pool a brush, and yeah, the sun is starting to come out. Actually, summer has truly arrived. But this is one of the benefits of the job. I love getting out here before other people are out stirring, and just to be able to enjoy the peace, quiet, serenity, and beauty of all of my customers. Anyway, looking good here, and we can move on. Okay, we have reached Fancy Pants, and so it's looking really good. There's, the only problem with this pool is the IntelliChem system, which, if you know anything about the IntelliChem system, I just went dark. You need to replace the Stenner pumps once a year, right? I can't even find any Stenner pumps. I don't buy them on Amazon. I can't find them on Amazon, but I don't buy them because of the return policy. And then as far as my wholesalers go, I've checked all 3 of my wholesalers and nobody has them. So comment below if you know where I can get my hands on some Stenner pumps for an IntelliChem system. Yeah, because they're spinning, and I have hoses that are in there that are not ripped or anything, so I feel good about it. But the Stenner pumps, they're worn out, so when it goes it's not moving anything. So subsequently, I've been putting chlorine just in the pool here, which is not the way you want to do it, especially when you go out and spend $7,000 on an IntelliChem system. I don't know what it is, but I think the IntelliChem system itself, just the part, is like $3,800 or something like that. So either way, very expensive stuff for it to not be working. But I do feel good about this, and we can move on. Look at this smile on my face. I am here at my last stop of the day, the second infinity pool on Friday, and check out these two. Let me tell you this. There must have been so many birds that my homeowner actually took action. Now, he is a man of action, okay? However, it took some convincing, and the considerable amount of bird poop all over his white pool deck for him to be convinced that he needed to take some steps to mitigate the birds and all of their negative ramifications. Now, look at this. Last week, I adjusted the leveler. Oh my goodness, I love it. There has never been this much water in the pool, and I'm just absolutely loving my level. It is perfect. It's right on the tile line. Yes, that is absolutely wonderful. Hey, I am just absolutely elated. So let's see. I'm really interested to see how much. See, now this will be an interesting thing come winter time. I'll have to readjust this thing down low, because when we get water, there will be no place for the water to go. Like, this pool has been really easy to take care of in the winter because A, we got a lot of rain this winter, but this pool was able to take care of it because of A, the trough, and then B, the eradication spigot on the main pool pump. So if you're building a pool and you don't have one, yeah, you got to put in one of these spigots on your main pool pump. A hose spigot looks just like that. It will go on top of your pump, and that'll allow you to attach a garden hose to it and get rid of the water that you need to before your pool crests. Anyway, let's see the pool. I hate these jasmine, and they always end up in my pool, and they don't seem to think that that's a problem. You guys been around for a while, you remember the project pool? One of the reasons that I got rid of the project pool is because it was a difficult pool, and they were just letting me do it, right? They weren't doing anything to fix the situation. Now, most of that situation had to do with the neighbor, but they didn't even talk to him or anything. So it was like, yeah, I'm spending 45 minutes just cleaning up leaves for, I shouldn't be doing that. And I pick and choose who my customers are. I want to succeed. I don't want to be sitting here for an hour picking leaves out of your pool. Let's take some chems. So, and in case you can't see, that says 3420. And then we have our test strip, which looks great. We have plenty of chemicals, perfect pH, alkalinity. Cyanuric is low, but I'm not sure why, because there's always tabs in the tab floater in the trough. So there's a steady supply of cyanuric going into this pool. But once again, goes to show how powerful the direct sunlight is, that it'll eat up the chlorine and it'll evaporate a lot of the water. So I'm gonna get to work. I'll come right back. Oh, I feel so good about this. Yeah, check it out. My newly adjusted leveler is just absolutely perfect. Water is looking, dare I say, mountain stream status. Yeah, it's looking really good. I thought that I might have over adjusted it in that I'm giving the trough too much water, but no, not true at all. If you look at the floater, okay, and then look at the tile line. It's right there at the tile line. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted. I'm super stoked. Okay, now I'm not leaving until I see that leveler turn off, but otherwise I really, really like what I see. Guys, if you got anything out of this, give me a like, subscribe if you haven't done so, and comment if you got something to say. I'm the original swimming pool fiduciary working for you guys out here in the field. I'm the Angry Pool Man. Guys, be excellent to each other and be excellent to your pool man and your gardener and your wife and your husband and your kids. Just be nice to everybody, and I'll see you on the next video.